What's up, boys and girls? Welcome to this week's 3-Second Tan. Actually, it's not weekly. Welcome to this week's weekly dosage and this month's 3-Second Tan. Episode 2 of that, whoop, and episode 31 of DNA's weekly dosage.
Woo!
Woo! So, woo! We're going to talk some wrestling tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Who's with us?
E-Buck done talk some wrestling, huh, dude?
So there was a little event about a month ago that we were talking about in our premiere episode. What was that event called?
I don't know. Like
WrestleMania?
I thought it was like Kissy Party or something.
Kissy Party was pretty
Kissy
good.
Party.
I went to that one. Wow. At least hang out to make fun.
Wow, that's really mean.
Just make fun of us then. Well, we can take it.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about the recap of what's happened since then. So since last we spoke, we had, what was it, WrestleMania 34
NXT Takeover.
and NXT Takeover,
and the greatest Royal Rumble.
yeah, whatever that means. So that being said, I don't know where you wanted to start.
What's Farkry?
Get killed some more. Why, are you just not good at it?
Ooh. In the woods of Eric? In the words. Maybe Eric has some woods too. In the words of Eric, get good.
Get
Son.
good, scrubby bubby.
So without further ado, we have a lot to talk about tonight. Let's jump right into the action. NXT Takeover was, what, the night before WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I think so.
And it had some good matches.
And our premiere episode of 3 Second 10 was the night before that on the Hall of Fame.
It's true. We're going to skip over the Hall of Fame because people got inducted. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
So we'll start off. We're going to go in the order of the actual event itself.
Is that what you have in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's laid out in the order here. We'll talk about who was in the match, what it was for, and then who won, and then our thoughts on that. So the show opened up. They had dark matches. Obviously, we'll get to that later. Well, maybe we won't.
Do you have Hangouts open?
No.
Will you?
I mean, I can.
I feel like it'd be.
Open.
So I'm
I
gonna.
just feel like it'd be easier to talk instead of talking out loud.
Yeah, before you guys get rolling, two things I want to point out. One, for whatever reason, Facebook is not popping up on the overlay again, but I do have it open on the side chat. So occasionally, I'm gonna try to get your attention for Facebook messages.
If you
also, Kevin is doing all kinds of crying about getting blown up.
Raven Knight says, I think Hillbilly Jim is still doing his Hall of Fame speech. You know, he actually is. That's why we're so delayed in getting this going. Yeah. But we're going to open up with the first match was the, yep, I have it here, so I can confirm that's open now, Eric. So,
okay.
The show opened up with the ladder match for the NXT North American Championship because we don't already have enough titles on this soil. They needed to... Yeah, it did go, I told you. So the participants were, of course, Adam Cole, your brand new champion.
Yep.
EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and the Velveteen Dream.
Oh, that match was amazing. Amazing. I did not know who Ricochet was, because I think he came up for NXT, like for Takeover. Yeah. I mean, he's now on NXT regularly, but that's
when they signed him now for his debut.
Yeah. And Velveteen Dream, obviously. Velveteen Dream is a dream.
So I don't recall now because it was quite some time ago. I should have done some research on this and who we predicted. I want to say we went with EC3 or Adam Cole to win it.
I think we went with Adam Cole.
Did we?
Yeah.
So I know we were.
Because I remember
right
I was saying, oh yes, Trevor, best match of the weekend. I think so.
Possibly, quite possibly, of that weekend.
If you want to count the Gargano Ciampa match a match.
Unsanctioned match, but still, that was. We'll get to that one.
Yeah,
There's a lot to say there. Yeah, honestly, this is a great opening match for the events. Yeah. Takeover is notorious for being almost better, if not better, than the weekend's pay-per-view that it lands on.
Yeah.
They usually are the weekends of the major four when they do these takeovers. However, they become more frequent. In recent times, another one coming up, I believe, is the same weekend as Money in the Bank, and that's another Texas one. I could be wrong. I haven't looked that far in advance. That's next month. But another one is coming up. And again, they tend to steal the show every time, especially if you're aware or familiar with the people. The deserving person was Adam Cole, I think, and he won that.
He deserved it.
The only other one that I thought should have, but he'll get his push, I think, in the main event scene. That'll be EC3. So if you're familiar with his work,
part of me was hoping Velveteen Dream would, because he's really charismatic and really awesome to watch.
Sure, but I mean, we've had the charismatic champion already. I think they need to go for, a different.
I just mean he deserves it as far as like what he's done so far.
Right, and I mean there is no. Notoriety.
I didn't think he was going to do it in this one.
Well, maybe. I mean, there's no notoriety or I guess bar that's been set with this title, right? Because there's been no champions, no bar. So like, you don't know what to compare it to. Like, is he the best North American champion? We don't know. So he could have set that standard. Much like the Universal Championship, it debuted with.
Technically, Adam Cole is the best North American championship that NXT's ever had.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one.
Match 2, we had Shayna Baszler fighting Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Championship, where Shayna Baszler did defeat Ember Moon by a technical submission. That was, I don't know how I feel about that match, because I need to become more excited about these women, or people, I guess rather, because Brock Lesnar, but I don't think that counts in the statement. Coming from MMA backgrounds to wrestling. Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey showed off great at WrestleMania, which we'll get to. Shayna Baszler is actually coming into her own, I think. When she was in the, the women's tournament?
Yeah, in the tournament. Yeah.
When she was in the tournament, it seemed to me all that she knew how to do was strike and bully the other people.
And, it's funny you say that, too, because that's how I truly kind of felt about that match. It felt very one-sided and unlike Ember Moon to have, uncharacteristic to have been beaten like that. Yeah. But again, the story is she hasn't faced an opponent quite like that either.
Yeah.
And the big story overall was NXT hasn't seen someone quite like that.
Yeah, Raven, both were excelente.
So we all kind of knew, and we both kind of called it, said if she's dropping the belt, she's getting called up. So we'll get to call-ups later. But sure, she deserves it, passing the torch. We all see the rise of a champion, and then they leave for the main roster to pass the torch to someone else. That's
the rise, then fall, then rise to the roster.
Right. So that's fine. She'll hold it until the next takeover, the one after, and then she'll transition out into someone else.
Yeah.
It's part of the story. So for me personally, I'm not mad about any of those sort of things, especially when we're winning with Ember Moon coming to the main roster.
Right.
So overall, it's a win in that regard, even though she lost the belt. Not everyone can go undefeated like Asuka and just go, here you go, I don't want this anymore.
I've done all I needed to do.
Right.
Is that really how she left the belt when she left NXT?
Yeah.
She posted on social media that she was going up to the main roster, and she surrendered the title.
Yeah, she surrendered the title. And then Ember Moon came out, and they kind of gave like a hug, like.
Because they had a rivalry for a minute. And Ember Moon
rivalry. I don't think it was very malicious.
Not heated. Right. But she wanted the belt.
Professional
she wanted the belt and couldn't get it.
Who was hurt?
Ember
Moon.
Well, Ember Moon was.
Oh no, Asuka. He's talking about Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka had a slight injury.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how they played out the story, and I think it was better that she didn't drop it. Any other thoughts on that second one?
No. I'm good on that one. We can move on to the next match.
So the third match was a triple threat tag team match for the NXT Championship. I was somewhat surprised by the results of this one.
I did not see it coming at all. I am happy that it did, because it was. I always love those matches where it's like, it seems like it's going to go normal and then just shifts on a dime.
Yeah,
But if it's done well, this one was done well.
We kind of thought that the Authors of Pain were eventually going to get called up, right?
Oh yeah.
So we knew at some point they had to potentially drop these belts. We didn't know how the story was going to be told, and
it's kind of one of those things too with Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong being a tag team. Like, you don't think, oh, they're going to give it to these two guys who. I mean, I know Sheamus and Cesaro are kind of the
poster children.
The bar,
right.
The bar for that.
Keep your enemies, closer. Type storytelling here, but
yeah,
you know, it's one of those things that, in hindsight, we should have seen this coming because it's very straightforward storytelling, right? The people that you came over with, you're gonna
see. I didn't know he came over with them.
Yeah.
So that's
they're all part of the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Very talented. And Undisputed Era, minus the injury, is very solid. You know, team.
They're a great stable. I think they have the potential of being like the next Bullet Club.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I think since Bullet Club kind of started in New Japan and Ring of Honor, they're more international.
Oh yeah, they have the definite international.
Whereas NXT it's not as international. Sure, people may watch it in other countries, but they're not as big.
Right.
I mean, eventually with these people in the stable, it'll.
Asuka the Grouch is my favorite wrestler. I think the main roster needs some more stables. I couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah.
For a minute there, they had too many tag teams that weren't really doing anything. But stables are far more important than tag teams, in my opinion. Just don't make it like 90s NWO where all of a sudden everyone became part of it because that was obnoxious. So many mistakes there.
Yeah.
So next match, unless you want to talk more about this one?
No, we can. Well, yeah, I think we're good on that one. The next match we had was Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship, where Aleister Black defeated Andre Cien Almas.
Surprising moment. Honestly, I know a lot of people like this dude. I have nothing against him.
Aleister Black?
Yeah, he's just...
He doesn't seem like a champion to you?
It's not that he doesn't seem like a champion. It's more of a surprise who they're giving the championship to. Well, I feel that they can take more risks in NXT than they do the main roster because he's not the image of the poster boy. And most of the NXT champions have not been.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought they'd give almost a little bit more time with the belt, but again, with call-ups.
Yeah, I think with Andrade being where he was in his career and seeing his progression within NXT, he was there for a while.
Yeah.
So finally getting the belt and holding it for, that little bit of time, even with Zelina, I was going to say Zelina Gomez.
Yes, Zelina Gomez.
Zelina Vega. Even with Zelina Vega, just it upped his stock tenfold because it's just
mucho caliente.
Sí. But that was a pretty good match. I like.
What?
Let's talk for like 2 more seconds.
2 more seconds. So, I mean, overall, it was a decent title match. Not one of my favorites. Not something I'd put on a highlight reel of the NXT title over the years. We've definitely seen a lot more.
It was a solid match.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah.
The whole card overall was good.
Don't
get me wrong. But the true main event, which wasn't for the title, it felt like an extra thing because the show actually went long.
It did.
I was surprised by that. The unsanctioned match was Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa, and if Gargano won, he would be reinstated in NXT.
That beard.
So, yeah. Their rivalry, the story and promos they had building up to this, and if you've watched NXT for a while, them becoming a tag team, them wrestling together, being friends, they're that, I guess, unlikely alliance. Like, they shouldn't have been a tag team, but they worked well together, and the matches they put on as a tag team were solid.
And they were best friends, too.
Right, and that story, even though it's been told, and you could swap them out for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
I was literally about to say, didn't we just...
It's a story that could be told over and over again, you just swap out people, and WWE loves doing that.
But I think with
Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
Well, I think with with Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano, they're the amount of emotion that they put into everything they do, their charisma, their attitude, their ability to sell everything. Just
dude, those bombs that bump on the cement floor, good
oh my God.
You could hear the smack of his skin echo through that arena. It was nasty.
Yeah. But I think with everything they do, breeds beauty.
And I didn't want the match to end, but the only reason I did was so they didn't kill each other.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, the bumps they were taking, how exhausted they were.
That story that they put on in that match was so good.
Was 37 minutes.
Yeah.
37 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Insane.
I think it was ended up being like 37.05 or something.
It's crazy.
It was nuts.
It wouldn't end. But none of the fans wanted it to end. And it was a good emotional.
I wanted it to end the same reason you did.
Right. The back and forth was like, who the hell is going to win this thing?
Yeah.
I was blown away by it.
Yep.
But that was basically NXT Takeover. Overall, great.
Oh yeah, those
event.
power bombs onto the knees.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, there's too many bumps to even recap here.
Yeah.
It was, if you have the network and you have 37 minutes, go watch this match if you're going to watch anything at this moment.
$9.99.
$9.99. Well, it's free this month for new subscribers.
That's true.
Yikes.
Not sponsored.
Please sponsor us.
I'm going to jump in for 2 seconds before you guys move on.
Who the hell is this?
What is this going on?
What the hell?
It had to happen. Make your peace with it.
The fuck?
The fact that
We've
you
been hacked.
pointed out that that match was 37 minutes was mind blowing for me because I've actually been out
He's
of
hacked
wrestling
into
for
the
a
Gibson.
really long time.
What'd you say?
And you guys kept talking. I said I've been out of wrestling for a really long time.
Oh.
You guys kept talking about stuff, and slowly, more and more, I was like, maybe I care again. And I think it was Eric kept. Oh, I'm backwards. I'm trying to point at Eric. That guy kept talking about how amazing.
Does it look like I'm
NXT
looking down at
was.
him?
Eric kept talking about how
There you go.
amazing NXT was, and
flip
so
it?
Just
yeah.
NXT as in a whole, as a whole.
Yeah,
was
you were like NXT is almost better than main brand a lot of times.
It's what all the marks watch.
Yeah.
Well, and so that's
Eye roll.
the thing. Like I actually tuned into NXT Takeover based on the two of you not shutting the hell up about wrestling.
Well, because it is just wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's why it's good. It's
Yeah.
not the fact that it's the superior show or where all the indie guys are coming from, because indie guys
Sure.
have been coming up for years and
AJ
years and years.
Styles.
Right.
He didn't
But-
go through NXT.
It's a 1 hour show every week with nothing but wrestling and some story to get you hooked on the
Enough
characters.
story for you to give a crap.
But it's not bullcrap filler for 3 hours and some odd change minutes. It's a solid hour.
Yeah. But so I'm going to shut up after this. The point I wanted to make was if you have been out or if you've been questioning whether or not you should give a crap about NXT, this takeover absolutely sold me on the brand in general. But that closeout match with Ciampa and Gargano was absolutely like mind-bendingly amazing.
Yeah.
Just so good.
It's kind of like how the Omega Okada fight sold me on New Japan.
Mm.
Yeah, their Wrestle
Both of those were
Kingdoms.
great.
If you were to go back and just watch some of the main events of Wrestle Kingdom's history, you'll recognize a lot of faces for one. You'll recognize like Nakamura, for example.
I also watched one a couple years ago, Kyle O'Reilly versus someone, and then he came back in the Undisputed Era, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Guy,
Ring
I
of Honor
liked.
has a partnership, or I don't know if it's still active. I'm fairly confident it is, but
With New Japan.
yeah.
Yeah,
TNA is actually partnered with Lucha Underground, which is really weird right now.
that is really weird.
They have champions that are crossing over, but anyways, we're not talking about that right
Yeah.
now. But that's NXT in a nutshell. And there was that small event the next night called WrestleMania 34.
No, it was
in
like-
Nolens.
It was just it was too short. Like,
Too short. I wish I had 7 more hours of wrestling. Good God.
all right,
You know, I swear by WrestleMania 50, it's going to be like a 20-hour affair.
it's gonna be all weekend.
Literally, just the whole weekend.
Live streaming. This is Big E sleeping. Like,
I can't, man. I can't do 20 hours of wrestling.
yeah, no.
That's insane.
So we'll kind of kick into the results for WrestleMania 34. The first match we had was Matt Hardy against Baron Corbin. Or no, it was the 30-man battle royal. Sorry, it was the 30-man battle royal where Matt Hardy won by last eliminating Baron Corbin.
So Matt Hardy is among the elite.
Elite.
Elite that had now won the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy.
The elite.
So here's the thing about this trophy. Has it fared well for anyone that has had it? No.
Well, people have done well, but not because of it. Cesaro's doing well with Sheamus,
Sure.
but not because of the...
Sure.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin failed to cash in the Money in the Bank. He had a really
Who's
big,
boring Corbin?
boring Corbin. The big, I guess, surprise for this was just that image that you've seen a few minutes ago. It was Bray Wyatt, right? The unlikely alliance yet again of people teaming up that probably shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
Because they're both, well, for them, they're both crazy. You all right out there? Okay. So yeah, Matt Hardy won. Out of the 30 people, did he deserve it? Sure, I think it's fine. Again, it's a trophy I don't care about. I don't know if the other fans, the viewers here, do you guys care about the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial? Or I can't even talk.
No,
It's just a mouthful.
do I care who wins in it? No.
No, it's irrelevant.
Do I watch it? Yeah, it's wrestling.
Yeah, it's a great pre-show match. It's to get, hey, sorry we didn't book you at WrestleMania. Would you like to be in a Battle Royal? Oh, yeah, I want to be in that ring. So you get thrown into there. The other pre-show match is, the delay. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali was the tournament final for the vacant Cruiserweight Championship. Why was it vacant? Well, we talked about that on episode 1, so go back and watch that.
On our YouTube. Dose of Nerd Acumen. Sub. Do it.
There.
Love you.
So, Cedric Alexander won it. I've been a fan of his. I think he deserved the win here. He's had a rough go of things. I think overall the Cruiserweight division has had a rough go of things. Or the 205 Live. Personally, I don't watch the show anymore.
205 Live?
Yep.
I think I've watched one episode.
I've even gone to a SmackDown Live event and left early during the 205 Live so I could beat traffic.
I would do the same, if we're being honest.
It's not that it's bad, it's just they don't give me reason enough to appreciate
There's
what they're
not...
doing.
It's an hour, right?
It's an hour.
It's an hour. It's like if NXT put way too much story into their show.
Yeah, because it was always weird story. And I think that's what happens when you have a different set of writers for the main roster as opposed to who's doing the work. And bring back Enzo. Has it been proven yet that he's guilty or not guilty? Because I've seen that was false. That said that he was not guilty.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Who cares?
It's unfortunate, but we won't get into that debate.
So the next match we had was the 20-woman battle royal for the woman.
The Vagina Bowl.
Yeah. That thing looks like a goddamn uterus.
Yeah. Do you have an image of that, by the way?
A uterus? It's right there.
The uterus. Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Okay.
there it goes.
Yikes.
So,
Yikes.
as you can see, Naomi won by last eliminating Bailey. What did you say?
I don't
Said
know.
Naomi's super proud of her uterus.
You know, honestly, she's had really good success at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Her getting her career started, she got screwed over because a few years back, I believe it was what WrestleMania was that? I don't remember. It was when she was with the Funkadactyls. Her match, like her moment got cut. It was the Rock and Cena twice in a lifetime bullshit. Because I think stuff was running late. And it was the second time Rock. It was WrestleMania 28. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay. I think it's 28, and her match got cut. She was with Funkasaurus, and the Funkadactyls were going to come out, and they were supposed to have their moment, but because things were running over and they didn't have the network yet at the time.
Yeah.
You don't want to go over on your pay-per-view because shit goes WCW all over again, right? Was it Halloween Havoc or something? Don't want that to happen. But she's had really good owed success, I guess, for that shit game. Maybe not owed entitled. I don't want to say anyone's entitled, but
yeah.
Still, she's
deserved
right
the success she's been getting.
She had a good moment, and she gets the fallopian tubes.
Yep. What do we got? What was the next?
So we have next the Intercontinental Championship. This one surprised me because
it surprised me too.
The Miz was. Congratulations to him. He had just had a little girl, right?
Yeah.
And
he says her first and middle name every time he talks about her.
He does.
And I still can't remember.
Forgot her name. Yeah.
So as you can see here in the image below, Seth Rollins picked up the title, joining the other two Shield members and becoming a Grand Slam champion that night. All three Shield members are Grand Slam champions already. This is mind-blowing.
Monroe Sky.
There you go.
So no longer is it special. And I had talks with Rick, and congratulations to Rick. They just had their kid this week.
Is her name Monroe Sky?
No, little boy. So
is his name Monroe Sky?
It might not be.
Could have been, though.
It could have been. So
very gender neutral name.
He joins those ranks, and I feel like that list has grown so long now of Grand Slam champions that it's just no longer special or significant anymore.
I don't think this is working here. Sorry about touching. I didn't know where it was.
Oh, the viewer count? I don't know if it is.
Probably not. That's
I'm
okay.
just going to turn it off.
Yeah, that's
Go
fine.
for it.
So, Finn Balor, all three of these guys were contenders for it. Obviously, they're in the match, but
Yeah.
I feel they are worthy champions. Seth Rollins picking it up, I don't hate it.
No, I like it.
I think it works.
Seth Rollins is there. I have 3 favorite wrestlers: Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and Miz.
Okay.
And 2 of them were in this game or in this match.
The only reason I thought the Miz was dropping it is because of the kid. I thought he was going to take
but
time off.
he came back.
He
He's been
hasn't
back the
taken
past
any
2
time
weeks.
off.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you do you. So good for him, hard worker. That dude needs to main event WrestleMania again, damn it.
I still think that was a factor, though. Because if he's not a champion, then he's not locked into quite so much. So if he does need to suddenly take some time off or something to be home with the family, it's a lot easier for a guy who's just on the show.
Sure, a champion should be there every night, shouldn't they?
I don't know.
We'll get to that.
Actually, that was brought up in a couple of the Raws.
Oh,
Or no.
it's part of the story.
Yeah.
It sure
It's
is.
the main story.
Well, no, Seth Rollins brought it up.
Oh, he
He's
brought
like-
it up now too?
It was
Yeah,
like last
yeah.
Monday. He was like, "I am
Okay.
a fighting champion."
Yeah, everyone's
I-
taking stabs at him.
Yeah,
But you
rightfully
know what?
so.
Rightfully so, but that dude's making more money than anyone else on that roster.
Which is fucking crazy.
well,
It's a travesty.
when
Makes
you're-
it worse.
Yeah.
when you're Brock Lesnar, you can do whatever the hell you want.
That's true.
So,
Somebody knocked that dude off his pedestal for real.
I mean, he got knocked
Roman
hard.
Reigns will do it.
Oh, we'll get to that
We'll talk about
match.
So yeah, overall, congrats to Seth, new IC champion. Great match overall. Finn Balor even getting the strap to the face, getting cut at the end there.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
but that wasn't that match. That was at the Greatest Royal Rumble. I'm confusing
Oh,
events.
yeah,
yeah,
Because
you
they're doing the same things over and over again.
yeah. And then next up we had Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. This one caught me off guard. Charlotte Flair ended up defeating Asuka by submission.
One
What?
arm.
Why? I
What do you mean, why?
just why? I don't understand why she lost here.
Well, my only thought process on it is they want to make her not seem unbeatable. Because Charlotte is
Her
the
first
tip.
Mania moment, build it up bigger.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for this, Charlotte is the top. Like she
Sure.
is the top talent right now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have no ill regard. I think if anyone deserves to be champion on that roster, it is indeed Charlotte. She fits the image of the top of the women's division.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was shocking and surprising that Asuka.
Oh yeah, it was shocking and surprising, but I thought it was the right choice.
Not yet, in my mind. Not yet.
I thought it was perfect because now you can. Asuka is now like she's up here. She was like, I'm undefeated, come get me, and she's like, I'm all cocky. You can't beat me. Nobody's ready for Asuka. You're knocked down a peg. Now you have competition.
But I think that was part of the luster of it all too, and that's not lost, but it's damaged.
I think whatever's damaged can be rebuilt really fast.
Well, sure. And I mean, what they're doing with the division now, it's like even SmackDown this week they main evented.
Yeah.
In a tag match. So I think there's still motivation there for sure. But I don't know. Overall, I was bummed.
Maybe one day they'll get to wrestle in another country
I mean, maybe like Saudi Arabia.
or something.
If they ever allow women there.
I just thought it was dumb for Charlotte to beat Asuka and break that streak, only to turn around and lose the belt the next night.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately that's more believable. That's possibly why they did that way then too.
Yeah.
Well, because she wasn't going to beat Asuka.
Yeah. So, do you have the next one or is that me?
You got the next one.
That one.
Okay.
This one's you.
So the next one was the United States Championship. The title that made another person a Grand Slam champion. Again, we're just handing these Grand Slams out. We had a surprising win with Jinder. Don't hinder.
Dude needs to go back to 3MB.
Dude needs a training bra.
Yeah, he does. Those titties, though. Like, he's just so much steroids.
So here's the thing with that. So much steroids, right? Is the wellness policy thrown out the door now?
Probably.
Because you're rewarding people who are clearly taking steroids, championships, clearly getting in car accidents, DUIs with drugs and all kinds of other things, looking the other way and giving them belts.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing?
Raven Knight says, I think Taker makes more per match than Lesnar. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, sure, it's Taker.
Yeah. Sarah, kind of smallish, says, I'm so sick of Lesnar. Get him off the show. I agree. Trevor says, this was awful. Jinder was bad. Any of the other three would have been better. I wholly agree.
Jinder over Rusev.
You think so?
I don't like Rusev. And I hate Aiden English. Although I'm happy he finally cut his damn hair, because that shit was a mess before.
I missed it a minute ago, but Henry said he agreed that Asuka should have won.
Yeah.
In Facebook chat.
Yeah, Asuka.
Oh, is that not on?
No, I said that at the start of the
Yeah, it's
episode.
not working.
Oh.
So yeah, Jinder bested the champion Randy Orton. Bobby Roode I thought would come out of this one. Rusev, I just thought he was in there as to get the chant of Rusev Day, which is stupid.
Just to get the pop.
Yep. Overall, it could have been a way better match than it was.
Yeah.
Could have been way
I
worse.
think if it was just Randy Orton and Bobby Roode, that would have been a fantastic match.
Yeah.
No, Rusev is not the best. Lana best.
Lana best. So next match we had was the
Lana's blessed. That's a different stream.
the next match was the mixed tag team match: Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Holy crap!
This match surprised the butthole out of me.
What is it? The collected age of all these people is over like 270. I'm just kidding. It's not that high. But really, there's a lot of old people in this match.
And so Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle became victorious over the very small Authority.
Kratos.
Who's Kratos?
I don't know.
You know who should play Kratos? Braun Strowman.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He actually posted a picture on his Instagram of
Wouldn't it be,
side by
what's
side.
his name, Momoa?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
There's a thing floating around right now that's a fake Netflix promotional image of Jason Momoa as Kratos in a Netflix series.
Really, Andrew? Get out of here with your nonsense. Damn. That's
Trevor
forever now, you know?
Trevor says, this was a lot better than I thought. That match, yes, I agree. I don't think anybody thought it was going to be. I thought everybody thought that Ronda Rousey was going to be just fumbling, botching. I did. I sure as hell did.
You know, even watching like some of the build up, her training and like doing the one move things.
You
I'm
see
like,
all this. Yeah.
I've seen that. I'm like, okay, you can do some spots.
And you can pick which parts to put in a montage.
Right. And not only
That was the one time she got it right.
If anyone could do a spot and make one spot look good, it's making it fluid from spot to spot to spot to make it not look like they're spots.
What I think made that match, not only her skill so far, but the way she sells the story is already, it just seems like really good.
I'm still weirded out by her character.
I can't tell what she is yet.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is she really happy to be there? Because she is, of course. She's not hiding that by any means.
She's like...
Right. If you go back and know of her UFC career, she's got the best bitch face ever. I mean it in the sincerest way. Because holy crap. I'm sorry, Andrea, but that face that she has, that'd make me take out the trash every week. On time. She's going to chat in now on that one.
But I think she's still finding her promo footing, which is understandable because you didn't have to cut promos in UFC.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the thing with that is she has like social anxiety issues.
Yeah.
So like if you even see her doing interviews when she was with the UFC, they're not great.
Well, so. and also she's coming over to something rude. She's also coming into a business that she's watched and loved since she was a kid. So it's just like, It'd be like if you and I, graduating from a film school, going, oh my God, I'm on a fucking movie set.
Right.
What is this?
You know, I think
oh my God, that's Benjamin Button.
I think that's why people are so happy and so well receiving of her because she truly, I mean, sure, everyone's there for the money.
Right.
But she wants to be there because she enjoys the product and just being there to entertain.
So I feel like she could go as far as people like Daniel Bryan, and John Cena, and Triple H, the people who do like absolutely.
Kratos?
Have you been waiting for that?
I went and downloaded that after you guys started talking about it a minute ago.
Oh, so hold on. Before we move on, if we're talking about Kratos.
Well, here, just so that everybody can actually get a better look at this, I'm gonna...
So whoever photoshopped that did a really good job.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really big.
Yeah. Apparently Roy Ledger with 2 Y's.
Roy, there you go, Roy. Don't flag our stream for putting your art up.
We just made you famous.
Oh, first of all,
pretty sure he made him famous.
Here's Braun Strowman without a beard.
Oh yikes!
Oh,
he's a total bro.
He is.
Andrew, are you watching that?
But this is what I saw.
Okay.
See it?
Sure. Okay.
I mean, he wouldn't be the worst, but
No.
Triple H would definitely be better.
Triple H.
Show that again?
Triple H, that's right.
But, of course, you say show that again. I got rid of it.
Oh, should have done that.
Eric, just watch the episode back.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Why do you want to watch? What?
Pawn Stars.
Whoa! Did you just full screen that?
It just dropped it in that large. Actually,
Jesus.
that's kind of a good crop, though.
That is a good crop.
It's perfect.
That I want that as a background on my computer.
Right? I'm not gonna lie, it's tempting to make that like my phone background.
Can you send that to me?
I love the
I
scar
absolutely
too
can,
from the God of War 3 game. You ever notice that?
What?
Yeah,
God of War
he's
3.
got it
It's
in
got the scar.
2018.
Oh yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, I think. Can you move? Thank you.
Sorry.
I feel like she's kind of like the Daniel Bryan, the John Cena, the Triple H, the people who legitimately love this business, and Daniel Bryan, as an example, waited this whole time just to be cleared, just so he can come back.
Yeah.
Like I feel like.
Oh, okay. I got it.
And I agree with Trevor. Strowman is the best. Put the title on him already. Yeah.
So we'll get to that. We're going to talk about Strowman in a moment.
Okay.
You can talk about this match.
So, yeah, the last thing I wanted to add was the star of the match definitely was Ronda Rousey. We thought it was going to be the opposite.
We thought that Triple H and Kurt Angle were going to
carry it,
but actually Ronda Rousey and Stephanie carried it.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey herself, because she had a couple spots with Triple H.
Yeah. Again, I want to watch that one back. That's a good match. Yeah. So you deserve to be here. Just stop with the you deserve it chance, though. Overall, though, I was tired of that for the week after WrestleMania.
They're not gonna.
I know, it's annoying. So the next match on the card had to have been incredibly difficult to follow what was just on, and it wasn't a good match either.
No.
It was a 5-minute laugh fest featuring the Bludgeon Brothers, the Usos who are coming in as champs, and the New Day. And then the Bludgeon Brothers, of course, and I say of course because nobody had expected this, they walked out with those championship titles. We all had predicted, I believe, the New Day, or I think you even went with the Usos.
I went the Usos retaining.
Yeah.
And I said possibly the New Day. But the Bludgeon Brothers?
No, nobody saw that shit.
I did not see
Can we
that
get
coming.
off this match, please?
Yeah.
I hated this match. It was so
We're
boring.
going to spend as little time as they did on the actual card.
Same with the next match, by the way.
Hold on. Before we move on, though, you pulled up that picture of Braun Strowman without a beard.
Yeah.
You want to talk about things that were weird? I was reading this random article that was like old gimmicks of wrestlers or like shit that just didn't get over or whatever. And I was reading about a guy named Adam Rose, who I completely missed.
Oh, yeah. Adam
He's
Rose.
Leo Kruger before Adam Rose.
Adam Rose with his rosebuds. With his rosebuds.
Yeah. Check who's in that picture.
Check who all is in
yeah.
that picture.
Braun Strowman,
Elias.
Simon Gotch.
You have Becky Lynch.
It is Becky Lynch. Carmella. Right? That's Carmella?
In the mask?
Yeah.
I could see that. I don't know, but I could see that.
I don't know. I think so.
Who's this back here? This dude behind Becky
He's
Lynch.
on NXT right now still.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, I got nothing to add besides that picture. I just happened to see Braun Strowman in what looks like a pirate shirt or some shit, standing behind Elias as part of a failed gimmick, and I'm like, what?
Well, it wasn't all too failed. It got brought up to the main roster.
Well,
Yeah.
but the article was predicated on
How long did that
just
last?
Didn't get over
It didn't last long. He ultimately, I believe it was a wellness policy violation, and he left or was let go.
That's what scares me about No Way Jose. We'll get back into that.
I don't like No Way Jose.
I don't dislike him.
Yes.
I don't care for him.
It's just like that gimmick.
It's just that dumb gimmick, yeah.
I put that in with Doink though. Like it's a dumb gimmick that will eventually get over for no good reason.
But I don't think it'll get over.
It didn't get
far.
over.
That's the thing. It's like Fandango or Fandango. Nobody cared, but he debuted and beat Jericho.
I like Fandango as a wrestler,
Sure.
but not his shitty gimmick.
It's like Tyler Breeze.
His gimmick in NXT, Tyler Breeze,
was great.
Phenomenal.
He got called up and was just not used well.
Yeah, it was like la 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 la. You know
crap on
that the Price is Right game, the yodeler or whatever, where he just climbs up.
He falls. Dude, he fell hard. He fell hard.
Yeah.
So you can
telling me you don't love Breezango?
I love Breezango.
They're fine, but that's just it. They're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're not going anywhere great.
No.
I love the Fashion Police.
Yeah, they're fine.
Their skits are pretty entertaining.
But that's what they're there for right now.
Yeah.
And it sucks because they're both talented.
They're actually getting a push on SmackDown.
For what though?
For like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so far. We'll see where it goes.
It's not going to go far because they're not going to beat the Bludgeon Brothers.
Well, speaking of beating and bludgeoning,
Yeah.
John Cena versus The Undertaker in a singles match. This was a 2-minute and 45-second shit show. The entrance for The Undertaker was longer than the match.
It was like 6 minutes long for him to get to the ring.
Yeah.
That was dumb the way they presented that.
It gave us that moment though.
It was
Cena getting a mouthful.
Mouthful of donger.
Dong.
I don't know.
Donger.
Cena had a rough go.
Hey, Cena, can you see this?
He got a squash match, and then he decided to not get married. All in the same week.
Oof.
You idiot.
You know what makes me mad about that Taker Cena match more than anything else?
That it was there?
Yeah.
Well, okay, but above and beyond anything simplistic, like one very specific thing that absolutely drove me nuts about that match. I'm gonna go ahead and get a camera for this. It made me angry because at the end of WrestleMania 33, we had that moment where it was like, bye, Taker. He didn't just leave. He took his stuff off and stacked it up in the ring and left it in the middle. They posted that picture on Instagram that was hours after the show ended when they were taking the ring down and it was still there.
Yeah, it's because
so, like,
they
that
can
was
do
the
that every
send-off.
year.
Which is why everybody thought he was going to come back as American Badass.
And that's what they should
And that's
have
absolutely
done.
what they should
If
have
you're going to
done.
bring him back for a squash match, give him that.
Yeah, seriously, because that was sort of the whole angle of the American Badass. There was no more theatrics. He just came out and beat the shit out of people.
We also didn't get a musical performance at this Mania, ultimately because our musical act had to catch a cruise because he was going on some music cruise. So that's why Kid Rock, when they were bringing everyone out, he wasn't on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
He had left early that weekend.
That's
Cena's
true,
drunk.
Raven. He was drinking in the crowd earlier.
Oh, yeah.
He was drunk. If you're advocating for a Kid Rock appearance, you know it would have been better than the shit show. So even you can admit that.
No, see, why it would have been better is because when you... Fuck, Kid Rock.
Wow.
When...
Do I have to ban you from our streams with
Tell
your
me how you
language of
really
people?
feel.
So...
Wow.
The reason why I would have rather had a Kid Rock performance is because you know going in that Kid Rock performance is going to be trash. You can get up before it starts. The Undertaker match, you're like, oh, maybe it can be something.
White trash.
Yes. Basura blanco.
See.
Yeah.
Moving on.
White trash.
Selena Gomez.
So what do we have? What do you have coming up next? What's the next match in there?
So we had a tag team match. If Owens and Zayn win, they would have been rehired to SmackDown. And they didn't win. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon in surprise fashion won the match. I thought for sure we were going to get a turn on Daniel Bryan. He wasn't going to get his moment. And then you had the classic build back up for the babyface to rise and overcome again. No. Welcome back, Daniel Bryan. He gets a win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, nothing really else to say about that match right at the moment.
Look at his arm, though.
Did you see his chest?
Yes, I did.
No, that was at the Greater
That was
Royal
the Greatest
Rumble.
Rumble.
Yes,
Do you have
I know.
pictures of that?
I'll go get some while we're
Okay,
doing
because
this.
we're going to talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh
Overall,
my God.
this tag team match, they had some decent spots. All four of them could put on great matches, so it wasn't a disappointment by any means. It was just kind of like okay, this is what happens. This is how you get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to move shows via storyline. It works. It's fine.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't amazing. It was great, but it wasn't amazing. Next match we had was Nia Jax against Alexa Bliss for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, where Nia Jax defeated Alexa Bliss. Obviously, that was the obvious choice because of the whole bully campaign.
Yep. And they were really selling the what's that foundation? What do they have? I'm drawing a blank here.
Diarrhea Foundation?
The diarrhea. That's not it.
Oh. I'm just pulling shit out of my ass.
The best part that comes out... okay. The best part that has come out of this storyline is that Alexa Bliss has been playing the victim.
Yeah, when she does her moments of bliss.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Again, she was amazing as champ, and
she's just amazing at everything within the company. I actually went back and rewatched a couple YouTube videos on when she, before when she was just Alexa Bliss, when she sparkled.
Yeah.
And it was hard to watch, but then I rewatched her when she came to the aid of what's their names. Blake and Murphy.
Yeah.
I want to say Blake Shelton for some reason.
Shelton Blakeman.
Shelton Blakeman.
Blake Shelton. Is that like a country artist?
Someone please teach Shane to throw a punch better than a 5-year-old. He learned from his 5-year-old.
It's true.
But that was a really good match. I thoroughly enjoyed the storytelling in it.
Nia Jax got her moment. Well deserved. To be able to deal with a storyline like that.
Yeah. I mean, however fake it is, you know what I mean?
Right, there's still emotion in it. And it's good to see. It's a good, inspiring story to have children watching and people really aspire to overcome the odds. So again, good storytelling. The next one was yet another surprising match on the card. More so surprising that it was a good match. It didn't steal the show like I thought it would.
No, the dream match was more of just a daydream.
Yeah. And Styles retained over Crying Baby. Over Shinsuke and Nakamura.
Yep.
And then we had the heel turn moment where every moment now since he is just going on and punching him.
He's just obsessed
the low
with
blow.
jewels.
He's low blow after low blow. Like, what is happening? We get your heel, bro. What's your obsession with punching him in the dick?
He wants them phenomenal jewels.
Yikes, man.
He's got the... No, I'm not going to do that. I almost did the South Park thing. I'm not going to do that. There it is.
I don't know here. AJ Styles, very deserving champion.
Look at that! Look at the dude. Oh.
But it was at this,
no, you're fine.
It was at this moment though that there was a realization that both the Royal Rumble winners lost.
Who's the other one?
Nakamura. He won the Rumble this year.
And AJ won last.
Asuka won.
Oh, Asuka won. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy on the right picture, the guy in the white shirt, he's like...
That ain't right.
He's like, oh.
And there's the dude behind him who's got this camera. I need to picture that.
Gotta commemorate that moment.
So it was a bit of a surprising turn here, but overall, I enjoy Styles as champion. I'm happy with him continuing his reign. Who's going to take it from him? Probably be Nakamura at some point. I don't think they're ready to pull the trigger yet.
No. So let's see.
You get to talk about this
one. I get the fun one.
Another joke.
What the heck?
So the next match is for the tag team match for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. It's Braun Strowman and his unknown partner versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Braun Strowman, in Braun Strowman fashion, goes out to the crowd and picks up a...
It'll switch. Give it a second.
Little child. His name is Nicholas. He is a 10-year-old, I believe, and they won. Nicholas is a one-time WWE Tag Team Champion.
He is officially in the record books as the youngest champion in history and will forever stay that way.
I hope so.
I swear to God, Miz should bring Monroe Sky just to
knock somebody out and then layer on the person.
Exactly. But,
well, didn't Matt Hardy's kid over in TNA win the belt for like a minute?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think so.
His toddler or something?
I think my favorite part of that picture, though, is how much cropping had to be done to make sure the kid even fit in frame. Because
Yeah, and
Roman
you still
was so much bigger.
Broman.
Yep.
You still
That was not intentional.
You still couldn't even see him.
Yeah, he was
Like
getting
the
under
nameplate was
picture.
right here. He's like,
Whoops.
Broman.
I'm gonna get it back up on the screen here for a second.
So that was a
In a
one.
second.
Like this is a 4-minute match. He spent more time walking around that giant freaking stadium finding his tag partner, who ended up actually being, I believe, a relative of a crew member for WWE.
yeah, it was referee's son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Look at him.
that's kind of cool.
yeah,
I mean,
but
that's an awesome moment for somebody.
Imagine
be
that
able to
kid
give
going
their
to school
kid-
the next day.
You think they let him take the belt for that one day?
Like when they're doing the
Show and tell.
the show and tell. He shows
got
off the freaking
this.
title. Like,
and then there's a kid in the class like, "Fuck you, Nicholas."
you know
I
there
got
is.
this.
You know there is.
Everybody's
And
like,
then, Braun
there's
Strowman
this
shows up and
little
kills
girl
all
with
of
her
the
little
kids.
her fish bowl. She's like,
And then Braun goes Anakin on all the little kids.
Whoa,
Whoa.
that went somewhere unfortunate.
We're here. So,
Moving on.
that concludes Wrestle. Oh, wait!
No.
There was a main event that night for the.
No,
what was
it was
the
the-
Universal title?
it was Braun Strowman and Cesaro and Sheamus. That was the main event, right? Was it? Did I
No.
turn it off or?
That's where I turned it
So,
off.
the show ended with a singles match for the Universal Championship. What title is that, you ask? Well, it's the one that's never on the show.
Wait, there's a Universal
There is. It's a made-up one.
Chokeslam Kid Rock. Yes, please, Robert.
It's
I don't know why I called you Robert. I just read the name on the screen.
so, as you can see here, in surprising fashion, Brock walked out with the belt, held it over a year, and yes, holy blood in this match. He apparently got yelled at backstage afterwards because of this blood here. He pulled an audible, and had decided to cut him up open. Open
This
him
is
up.
how this match made me feel.
Wow. So,
Just
You
don't care.
You had to do the.
Oh,
you know, the one thing I was satisfied about this match, it lasted longer than like
Universal Champion.
it lasted
It's not
longer
real,
than like 6
aliens.
minutes.
aliens.
So overall, the length of the match was better. It
Holy
wasn't
blood.
a rush match. The reason that they're trying to keep Brock around is because he's been negotiating a contract with UFC. It's not public, but we all know it. From what my understanding was, they did a contract extension that extended through a couple more appearances, including the Greatest Royal Rumble, which we'll get to. And is it weird that we all wanted them both to lose? No, it's not weird. Braun Strowman should have been in place of Roman Reigns there. Should have won it.
Unquestionably.
Brock should not have won it. Roman should not have won it because we're both tired of, well, I shouldn't speak for you, but I think majority of people is tired that Roman Reigns is getting the push that we don't want him to have.
Screw that, dude.
So,
I think that's enough for that match. 'Cause
yeah.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
we're going to get to more of it because we get to see a sequel to it.
I was just thinking about this earlier. Greatest Royal Rumble was basically WrestleMania Junior.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Eric has a segment he wants to run through here because we've still got quite a bit of content and not a lot of time. So, let's not spend
Call-ups
a lot of time.
and returns. Dun dun.
So let's hear who you got and let's talk about them.
All right, so these are going to be call-ups and returns. Some of them are going to be ones that happened before Mania. I kind of just grabbed what I could find. There's surprisingly not that much information. Like, there's not a list of people that were called up on certain dates on the internet. Who knew? I'm just going to go in no particular order. So first up, Ember Moon called up to the Raw roster. Oh, thank you for adding.
Yes.
Thank you for adding the where they got called up to.
Oh, I didn't add that.
No, I did that.
You did? Oh, thank you. For that.
That's what I mean. I was
To
busy.
go with this overlay, like, look, real quick. I got the SmackDown Live and the Raw
Oh,
Live.
you're
up
gonna ping
there.
pong them back and forth?
Yeah, Ember Moon got called up to Raw.
Oh, good call.
That's
Ember
interesting.
Moon, she wrestled for Shimmer Women Athletes, Women Superstars Uncensored, Inspire Pro Wrestling, and Anarchy Championship Wrestling. And she's also a former NXT Women's Champion. She had a great career down in NXT. Obviously with all these indies, you don't really know very much about their indie stuff.
Right.
Unless you follow it.
And
I did
you
not.
find tapes. Like, it's
Yeah.
difficult to find stuff for those things.
So Ember Moon is one of the ones that got called up to Raw. Next up, we have No Way Jose.
No way.
He wrestled in CWF Mid Atlantic and was a former champion. He wrestled for Firestar Pro Wrestling and Omega Championship Wrestling. He's also from NXT. Got called up to Raw. Again, he's kind of like a better Adam Rose. Next up, we had Jeff Hardy. He was more of a return, not a call-up. Jeff Hardy has a long list of stuff that I'm going to run through really quick. He is an NWA 2000 Tag Champ with Matt Hardy, Ring of Honor World Tag Champ with Matt Hardy, 3-time TNA World Heavyweight Championship, give him the belt in WWE, wink wink, 2-time TNA World Tag Team Champ with Matt Hardy, 2-time WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He is also a 1-time WWE Champion, 1-time European Champion, and now a 1-time WWE US Champion. He was also a 3-time WWF/WWE Hardcore Champ, 4-time WWF/WWE Intercontinental Champ, Raw Tag Team Champ Matt Hardy, 6-time WWF World Tag Team Champ with Matt Hardy, and a WCW Tag Champ with Matt Hardy.
Fun fact, though, he was never actually in WCW to win those. It's when they did the invasion angle when WWF had bought WCW.
The Rosebuds. So after Matt Hardy, we got another return, Mr. Bobby Lashley.
Yikes.
Was that Elias?
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley returned to Raw. Bobby Lashley is a 2-time former ECW World Champion, a former 4-time TNA Impact World Heavyweight Champion and TNA X Division Champion, and a former U.S. champ for WWE.
I find it hilarious that he was their X Division champion because that's basically their cruiserweight division.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
where
funny.
AJ Styles
yeah.
got famous.
That's really funny.
I actually knew that. I got that reference.
Everybody was excited about Lashley coming back. I was excited just because of fresh face. Next up, we had the Authors of Pain, featuring Paul Ellering. They came up.
Night.
What?
For one night.
Yeah, for one night. They dismissed him. Probably because he can't travel.
That could be.
NXT stationed in one spot.
Yeah. They are the former NXT Tag Champions. They almost won again, but they lost at the pay-per-view. I did not grab anything on our next one, the Revival, because personally I was running out of time and didn't care to grab it. So after the Revival, we got another return. Samoa Joe returning to SmackDown Live. Samoa Joe is a former TNA TV champ, TNA World Heavyweight champ, 2-time TNA World Tag champ, once alone and once with Magnus, a 5-time TNA X Division champ, and X Division Star of the Year in 2006. He's also a former Ring of Honor Pure champ and Ring of Honor World champ, and a former 2-time NXT champ. Didn't he? He didn't hold the Universal title, did he?
No.
For some reason, I thought he did. My brain just now. Next up is our first of 2 stables, women's stables. We have the Riot Squad, who showed up in Raw. Sarah Logan, her independent scene name was Crazy Mary Dobson. She also worked for ICW, Shimmer Women Athletes, Ring of Honor, and Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Surprise on that.
First of all, Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Let's marinate in that for a half a second here. What the fuck? And she's also a former Juggalo Tag Champion with Madman Pondo, whoever that is. Why don't you have a picture of Madman Pondo?
Why don't you eat my ball second?
Wow. Next up in the Riot Squad, we have Liv Morgan. She's a previous worker for Hooters, and she's a former competitive cheerleader, so never wrestled. Great.
Did you find that image or no?
I sure didn't.
The Hooters one?
Yeah.
Oh. Next up in the Riot Squad, we have the leader. There's 3, right?
I don't care about these.
I don't either.
I like Ruby Riot.
Oh, they all irritate
no,
the shit out of me.
I know, she's
Ruby Riot on her own is actually a really good wrestler. But did you watch NXT when she was on there?
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Real quick, Henry interjects that Sarah Logan is also dating one of the members from War Machine.
Who's a tag team down at NXT?
Yeah, they're 2 bigger guys.
Mm-hmm. They're from Ring of Honor.
Are they?
Oh, right on.
Ruby Riot wrestled for Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW.
A long time ago.
I think I'm in there. I messed up the letters. Shine Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling, and World Wonder Rings Stardom. She's an OVW Women's Champ and a Shimmer Tag Team Champ with Evie.
So she's been in the industry a while because Ohio Valley was over a decade ago.
Yeah.
It became FCW and then it turned into what NXT is.
Yep.
So that was a
I was
long
going to say, I
time
thought
ago.
OVW was the developmental territory back in the day.
It was.
So was FC.
That's where DX shipped the Spirit Squad.
To FCW.
Well, it's also
No,
where
OVW.
the class of,
2002.
well, yeah, John Cena, Batista, Brock Lesnar,
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. It's like, fuck.
All from
Can you
FCW.
imagine it was Ohio Valley?
Was it?
They're Ohio Valley.
FCW was
like years later.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was years later.
It was the Shield people.
But could you imagine in some shit warehouse training with the likes of Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Batista, and all these people trying to...
They're fighting each other.
Well, they're fighting each other, and imagine, because look at the talent size we have now. We have guys that are Daniel Bryan size. Could you imagine a Daniel Bryan size trying to compete back in that time period for it? It's ultimately why he stayed in the indie circuit for as long as he did, and other people did.
Who?
Daniel Bryan and
Oh, yeah.
other people like Kevin Owens. These guys are not big. Like Kevin Owens is a big guy, but he's not big guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had to go to these tryouts, and you're looking at people that are 6'6", 6'8", 300 pounds. Like, I would not want to get tossed around with these guys at all.
No. But at the same time, you get a lot of experience.
Sure, you get experience, but you ain't getting called up. Vince McMahon was still in his prime of being on TV, and he likes big guys.
Yeah.
Hence, big cash getting pushed.
Yep.
He likes big dudes.
And big dicks. So
He
next, next up is the second of our two women's stables that actually no, there's three of them. I lied. Next up is Absolution. They came to SmackDown Live. They came in with Paige, who, if you haven't been watching, has just retired from in-ring competition and is now the general manager of SmackDown Live. Mandy Rose is a former fitness and figure competitor, and a television personality. I did not know she was a television personality. That could be Total Divas, maybe? But she was also the runner-up in the Tough Enough, losing only to Sarah Lee, who is out with a baby and don't know what the fuck she's doing. She's also from Hope, Michigan.
Vince McMahon loves big sweaty men. Should have an MMA match between Lashley and Brock. That's a WrestleMania. Like actually do an MMA.
Yeah.
Paige looks rough right now. Yes, she does. She looks.
Yeah, those lips are like...
She looks hit. As I've said, she looks like a hooker.
She does.
Wow.
And then the third of our
the
third of our three women's stables are the Iconics.
I love the Iconics.
Was it sarcasm?
No, I really
No,
do.
I love them too.
I'm having such a hard time with them.
I bet you are. We all are.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
bonus jokes.
Peyton Royce. I think Peyton Royce, both Peyton Royce and Billie Kay were both wrestlers in the Pro Wrestling Women's Alliance. Both were champions. Peyton Royce was a one-time PWWA champion, and Billie Kay was a two-time PWWA champion. I really like their gimmick. I mean, sometimes they can get a little annoying, for sure.
I think that's the point, though.
But yeah,
They're trying to get under your skin.
yeah.
They're those type of girls.
I thought one of them was not Australian. I had to look that up. I thought one of them was giving a fake Australian accent.
Oh, one's from Australia, one's from UK, isn't it?
They're both from Australia.
Are they both? Okay.
Yeah. Well, because when I could have swore that one of them, when I saw them in singles competition before they were the Iconic duo back in NXT, one of them was speaking like with an American accent. So I got confused.
Ray says them and Carmella together, you got to beat the match.
Jesus.
Carmella's screeching. Jesus.
Oh
man.
my God.
Gets me
Cash
so
it
angry.
in! Cash it in!
The next return is
You should go on my Facebook, find that picture of Carmella.
oh, one of you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, let's show it off.
Well, why not? You would if you had a picture, please.
You gloating over here.
Bitch, please. That'd be the first thing. He's like, we're just gonna leave this in the corner the whole time.
You don't even have to look at me anymore because I'm in the picture.
Just
We'll
put it up here instead of your camera. The next call up or return rather would be Drew McIntyre, former NXT champion, former WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team champion with the three-man band, former TNA World Heavyweight champion and one-time Impact Grand Champion under the name of Drew Galloway.
Yep.
He's also a two-time ICW World Heavyweight champion and a former Evolve champion and Evolve Tag Team champion. Now, Drew McIntyre was he's kind of like Jinder Mahal. Nothing.
Well, here's the thing. He was, when he was with Three Man Band, if you recall his debut,
I don't.
he was pushed straight to the main event scene, winning a title in his first match. I believe it was the Intercontinental title. I could be wrong. But he was the chosen one. Vince McMahon, like, it was part of the storyline and everything. Like, Vince had chosen this guy to be the next big thing. I don't recall what happened exactly. It didn't come to fruition. He then joined three-man band and had some called in the future. Thank you. So yeah, he was the guy. And eventually it fell apart, and he left, went to TNA, did some things, got the belt there, got popular.
Yeah, kind of like Jeff Hardy, singles Jeff Hardy.
Right, and they're like, we can capitalize on this. Brought him back. He won the NXT title. He got called up, and here we are.
Yep. So. And I'm glad that they put him with Ziggler to start, because they both kind of needed something. At first,
Ziggler's a mess.
He is a mess.
I don't know.
He needed something because, yeah. And then last of all for our call-ups will be Andre Cien Almas to SmackDown Live. Now he's only currently just doing promos. He hasn't physically been on. Yeah, or he hasn't even been on television yet. I think either he or both he and Zelina Gomez have been doing like those little phone promos that they've been doing.
Mm-hmm. He'll do well.
Yeah,
he's got quite a history to him,
and he's also got like that amazing like bad boy charisma, like bad boy. I meant bad guy charisma. It's a bad boy. Cien is a formerly New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestler as La Sombra. La Sombra. He's a former NXT champion, former IWGP Intercontinental champion, and one of the founding members of Los Ingobernables. Ungovernables. I'm excited because I think the duo of him and Zelina Vega will be really, really sweet to see with some of the top talent.
I just don't hope. I hope they don't throw him on 205. He shouldn't go there.
No.
I'm glad he's going to SmackDown to avoid that whole possibility, but there's still a chance he may.
Yep.
So that was
call-ups and returns.
So let's talk about the event that just took place last week, the greatest Royal Fumble. The show opened up with actually a surprisingly good opening match.
I was actually not paying attention to this match.
This match, for one, meant a lot to me because it made me think of 2006. And the thing that happened in 2006 was WrestleMania 22. It was the one WrestleMania that I had the privilege of going to see, and the main event that year was indeed John Cena defending his belt against Triple H. It is the first time that he used the King of Kings gimmick because he was going against a gangster. Was it gangster or mobster? It's one and the same. Mobster. John Cena from Chicago, which he's not from Chicago, but that was the whole story they played out. The Tommy guns and the old car. And one of the mobster men that was coming out with him was actually the on-screen debut of CM Punk with WWE on the roster. So a lot of cool history to that event.
Which makes it kind of ironic about the pipe bomb.
You're right.
Yeah.
So to me, that was like, this is really cool to see. And yes, Raven Knight, this is indeed the No Girls Allowed pay-per-view.
This was the He-Man Woman Haters Club of wrestling.
Due to their cultural beliefs, you have to be accompanied by a man to attend this event.
So theoretically, they should have all been able to be there because they were all accompanied by men.
They would have had to wear special outfits.
Should have just wrestled in whatever they call them. I can't remember the article of clothing that's called.
Hijab.
Is that what it's called? That's what I wanted to say.
The head covering?
Like the whole outfit thing.
No, I don't know what the whole thing is called.
What is it called?
Burqa.
Wrong one. I don't know, but
Burqa.
Yeah, they couldn't show skin. I'm not going to be on this vodcast here and just diminish a whole cultural belief, but it's very disappointing that WWE would make deals with this. Not once, but they're returning later this year for Survivor Series weekend to do another event.
In Saudi Arabia?
In Saudi Arabia, because they made so much money at this event.
Oh,
it was a big.
Did they really?
They paid a tremendous amount of money to bring them over.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia wanted them bad.
Very, very bad.
Wow.
So
that's surprising.
The spectacle of it seemed like WrestleMania Junior.
Oops.
the sheer size of the place they were in was awesome looking. Like the presentation of the product was awesome.
It did look like a Mania arena.
Yeah, that was cool. But again, the whole like the girls club thing that sucked. Yes, they did. They still got in trouble for the promos they showed during the event because they did show some of the female storylines.
And they had to apologize too.
Yeah, because they were talking about the upcoming Backlash pay-per-view because they're promoting their own material.
Yeah.
So they had to issue an apology. But diving back into the event, that opening match, I enjoyed it for what it was. Surprisingly, John Cena defeated Triple H in a non-provided match. But again, a good opening.
Yeah.
They gave to the crowd a really good opener. Prince said he wanted an Undertaker, Ultimate Warrior, and Yokozuna. Yeah, they're probably still getting tapes sent to them.
They're just every week they're getting Doogie Howser.
Oh, Doogie.
Yeah, like weekly, like it's the new episodes of Doogie. Come, Doogie's on.
They're probably still getting the Male Coliseum home video, if anyone remembers those.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how long I've been watching.
Next up on the card, we had Cedric Alexander against Kalisto for the Cruiserweight Championship, which, again, I wasn't paying attention because I was playing a video game, if we're being honest.
That's cool. This match was all right.
This whole pay-per-view, I really was just watching for the Royal Rumble.
The dead man being the only one alive is kind of
That's
early. So, yeah, Cedric retained. Again, it was okay. Again, I'm not sold on the Cruiserweight, so I'm not going to be like, oh, my God. Because I wasn't. You want to move on?
Yeah, go for it.
So the next one was a tag team match for the, at that time, vacant tag team championships. The Bar. Yeah, see, I got you that time.
I was looking at the computer.
Cesaro and Sheamus was going against
Bray
Wyatt
Wyatt
and Matt Hardy.
The deleter of worlds.
The deleter of worlds. In surprising fashion, they won. They being Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
I love that tag team.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah.
We talked about this in chat.
Their promos are just
are fantastic. I don't want to hate on Bray Wyatt because I am still a fan of him. It's just hard to believe in him after the history we've seen him over the last few years. He has had so many amazing promos and build-ups with not only the Wyatt family, but Solo and other things, building up his match against Taker, building up his match against Randy Orton at WrestleMania, going in as champ. And all these things where it was like, you are potentially the replacement for Undertaker to have this great legacy of a dark character and believable character.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he had lost so many big matches to only come back the next night, cutting the same promos, and we're like, why should we believe in you?
Yeah.
And that was like, I don't want to hate on Bray Wyatt because I'm fully invested in what he's doing, but I don't want to be like hopping on that train to get disappointed at the end.
Yeah.
Sure, he's champ right now.
I'm just going to enjoy the ride.
And that's just it. You kind of got to sit back and just let it be and not get so amped up into it. And that's where I just got to let myself, because I was so in his character. So incredibly into it. Way better than
I feel like
Husky Harris, as Rob puts it.
I feel like with Matt Hardy, too, they were trying so hard to bring back Broken Matt Hardy
Broken, that's trademark. You can't say Broken.
Oh, I can say it all I want. They were trying so hard to bring back that gimmick.
Oh, you can say it. I'm just fucking with you.
I wasn't going to that time. But
we're not there yet.
No, that's just you for the rest of the show.
That's weird.
That at first it kind of seemed like it was falling flat. Like they were just doing it for a cash grab. You know what I mean?
Speaking of cash grab, you're putting it on again.
No.
Oh, fuck you then.
But now that he's with Bray Wyatt, I feel like they kind of got that niche for him started. So hopefully it can cruise to where it needs to be.
Yeah, I don't hate what they're doing. Again, I just am not 100% invested yet. Because what are you doing? You're fucking with me?
He just put it up again while you were looking.
Jesus Christ. Weird. Running out of time.
The next match we had was Jeff Hardy against Jinder Mahal for the U.S. Championship. Is your air just turned on? Because that feels great.
Yeah, air turned on.
Oh. Is it right behind me?
It's over here.
Oh, God, I feel that. It was Jeff Hardy against Jinder Mahal with Sunil Singh, with Jeff Hardy victorious against Jinder Mahal, which, awesome.
Sure, yeah.
Like it.
Yeah.
Nothing bad to say about the match. Good match, except for Jinder Mahal's nipples.
Well,
there's a note to take away here, too. You'll notice that he didn't have...
Two notes.
He didn't have the belt. going into this match, remember Jinder Mahal had it at Mania. He had won it.
Yeah.
So he had lost it in between.
To
Jeff
Jeff
Hardy.
Hardy. Returning Jeff Hardy match.
The best part of that is that Jinder won the belt at WrestleMania and then moved to Raw as part of the shakeup. And then Jeff, who was already on Raw, came out and had a match against Jinder and won the belt, and then was part of the shakeup himself and moved right back to SmackDown Live with the belt the next night.
Rob says, "Man boobs."
Yeah, see, he got them titties.
He does. And then Raven Knight says, "Thank God they took the belt off Jinder." Yes, I agree.
Don't hinder.
Don't hinder Jinder.
Speaking of cash-ins, since you keep fucking with me,
No.
There was also-
We're not there yet.
there is no there yet. Well, I guess we could do it for Backlash.
Yeah.
We'll do it for Backlash.
But no, before we move away from Hardy, because I went and found this.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, the botches. So this card had so many botches.
So many. This is one of my favorites, though.
Can we just let that go forever?
We can.
Do you have the other GIF?
I do have the other one.
Okay, when we get to that.
It's ready. But this was one of my favorite ones because, unlike the other botch we're going to talk about later, this one the announcers tried to play it off. They were like, I guess the vibrations just took him off his knees.
Stupid.
Because first he was like, I guess he caught him on the back end? No,
that
he missed
camera
him.
angle. You can't
Just
hide that.
Unforgiving. Completely screwed that up.
God, it's so funny. I could watch that all day.
We can absolutely move on, though.
I don't want to right now. I'm watching this.
Well, time says otherwise,
Yeah, dude.
unfortunately.
You talk about the Bludgeon Brothers.
We're at
Okay.
an hour 20.
So the Bludgeon Brothers, unfortunately,
Oh,
defeated the
I need
Usos.
the space.
Oh,
Bludgeon Brothers defeated the Usos
cool.
To
Don't care.
retain.
to retain.
Hooray.
Don't like the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, they're not. No.
I like Luke Harper by himself.
You know, I liked them when they were with the Wyatt family.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you catch what Raven said earlier? They should have just left them with Wyatt.
Yeah.
Let Braun go on his own.
I don't like the repackaging them. It's really dumb.
I mean, it makes sense as a big burly team, but it is dumb. It actually bothers me a little bit that Rowan has the sheet mask that they just attached an air hose to.
Yeah. So he's evolved.
He moved
Yeah.
on.
So, yeah, you got the next one. Let's continue on this.
Okay, so the next one we had the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Great match.
It was Seth Rollins against Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and The Miz.
Possibly the best one on the card.
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Let's look at the left. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins came out ahead again, defeating Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. Finn Balor was actually top of the ladder. Seth Rollins jumps on the rope from the apron, jumps onto the ladder. I don't know if he punches him, but he gets up
No,
there and
just
grabs
straight
it.
He yanks the belt.
Just yanks
Yeah.
it.
He
Just
yanks the
doesn't
belt
even
and the
touch Finn
strap
Balor.
smacked Balor in
Oh.
the face. That's
Yeah.
what cut him open.
That's funny.
So,
So yeah, that was a solid match. It was entertaining. Always like watching Seth Rollins and Finn Balor wrestle.
yeah.
With the added bonus of Miz and Samoa Joe. So
Yeah, the finish was the best part for sure, Raven.
yeah.
Then we have the WWE Championship match. AJ Styles again versus Nakamura. Again with the back and forth, the heel tactics.
Can we just touch on how amazing Shinsuke's new music is?
I do like it a lot.
Well, they don't want fans singing along.
I know, but I listened to it at work like 6 or 7 times in a row. Like, it's just so good.
I like his old music too, though.
I like it. I do too. But as a heel now,
Yeah, it works.
it's great.
So this one, unfortunately, ended in a double countout, meaning AJ retained the belt. It's continuing this story. They're going to drag this out into the summer for sure.
Yeah.
So it's a safe way to drag it. So we have now
Whew.
you next.
Oh, sorry. The next we had Undertaker against Rusev in a casket match.
Which was almost Undertaker versus Chris Jericho, and then was immediately Undertaker versus Rusev again.
Yeah, the booking of this match was very confusing. So for some reason, Rusev was originally booked, then Chris Jericho was booked, and then Rusev was booked back again.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I didn't really dive into details.
Yeah, me either.
The only thing I could find was something about.
Lana was complaining on social media. I don't know if that was.
No.
kayfabe.
Somebody took offense to Lana and Rusev talking shit about how old the Undertaker was. And so they were like, nope, no more match for you. And then the Undertaker was like, no, put me back in my normal match. What's wrong with you? Supposedly without ever finding out, what Rusev said.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm really confused.
I was just sitting here, you guys were talking, I go,
I mean, I saw you doing that.
He's bored of your talking.
that match bored the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's an Undertaker match. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's boring.
It was
It's
fun
sad
he
when you
stuffed
have
them
to
both
say
in the
that.
Casket.
His
Oh,
last
that
good
would happen
match,
now.
his last good match was against Triple H.
Yeah.
So you can touch on this one because I know it's got your boyfriend in it.
Yeah, I keep coming back to this. So,
Oh,
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, where I thought for sure, I was 99.9% confident that this was where they extended his contract to. He was going to take this match and finally drop it in front of a crowd that maybe cared for Roman Reigns, as opposed to the crowd over here who clearly doesn't care for Roman Reigns.
is that the right graphic?
No, that's a
No, that's
WrestleMania.
It was a joke.
Oh no, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yes, the entrance did take long. Well, no, not that.
Not in that match.
Not in that one. Ultimately, this match was shorter than the WrestleMania one, and it was in a cage, so they didn't have the freedom to
I think
run
they were
around the
asking
ring
about
and slam.
Undertaker.
But it ended here in the. I know, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
It ended here going through the side of the cage, where the rules are whoever's feet touch first wins the title.
Feet.
Brock
I said it
Lesnar landed on his
repeatedly.
back and hit first.
Brock Lesnar was like this. This is how he landed.
Looks like you're wearing no pants.
I am not wearing pants.
Well, no, nothing.
Wearing shorts. Oh, you can't even see them.
Whoa.
Show you my
Please
weenus.
don't.
But
Don't excite
Camera.
Nakamura now. So
Point is-
it ended with Roman getting head planted into the freaking
Oh, and that was
pad.
a rough
It was a
landing. for
nasty
real.
fall.
like just
And then him actually getting his foot outside of the fence,
Both
of the
feet.
cage. Both
Both
feet.
feet.
So technically, he won the match, but they counted it as a
Lesnar escaped
tie.
first.
Yeah, they counted
Yeah.
it as a,
No,
they
no,
counted
no.
it as a draw, I thought.
they did count
No.
it as a draw.
Well, it says here in Wikipedia he escaped the cage. But I think the initial thought was it was a draw. And
No,
they said
somebody
it
told
was-
me that, but like that night I saw them talking about how they gave Lesnar the win.
I personally think it was a mistake.
The whole, well,
Oh, it was.
I don't think it was supposed to end that way.
No.
So they
Well, they were
messed up,
definitely
and that
supposed to go
fall
through
was
that.
nasty.
they
Yeah,
were
that
definitely
fall.
supposed to go through that wall though, because it was only zip tied in place.
Sure, they were going through the wall, but I think the landing was botched.
Yeah.
I'd believe that. Yeah,
It was bad. All right,
it was real bad.
take that 50-man Royal Rumble for me.
All right, you got it. Braun Strowman won.
That's really it. Who did he last defeat?
Big Cass.
Cool.
Nobody cares.
There are a lot of people. If you want to see it, go to Wikipedia.
Actually, the one thing I do want to mention about this, because we're going to show something about it here in a minute.
Oh, there is
that,
something that happened.
Two things, two amazing things. What do we want to? Okay. So what I wanted to talk about was I was
How the
seriously
how the
impressed,
trophy is taller than Braun Strowman.
Which
Raven's
means that
waiting
thing
for
is
it.
Massive.
Raven's waiting for it.
Yes. No, not that.
Oh,
We're
wait, we
coming
want to
that
see
in a
that. That's
second.
all the talking is about this.
Daniel Bryan starting the thing off and setting a record for
Oh, yeah.
being the longest competitor in a single Rumble match was nuts. Like,
Well,
I mean,
here's
he wasn't doing crazy shit the whole match, but like that's a long time to be
Here's-
in a match.
I love Daniel Bryan. I'm really glad he broke that record. But here's an asterisk. That's a 50-man battle royal.
Not
there's
the
a-
traditional.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
not a
it's
30-man,
not
so there is more time for you to
I
gain that.
still think the record's held by Chris Benoit.
No, it was Rey Mysterio,
Rey
before
Mysterio.
that.
They talked about it a couple of times during the course of
They
the
were
50.
within
Rey
minutes of
Mysterio,
each
Rey
other,
Mysterio
though.
was 62
Yeah.
minutes.
They were real close.
Daniel Bryan
I want to
was.
say Chris Benoit was longer than 62, though.
I don't think.
He's gonna go look it up real quick.
No, it
Chris
would be the Royal
Benoit.
Rumble 2004.
And while he's looking that up,
The fact that I know that, it's terrible.
It was 2004.
all right, are you guys ready?
No.
30-second difference.
30-second difference. Who had the edge?
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit had the edge.
No.
No?
Chris
Oh.
Benoit was in for an hour, a minute, and 35 seconds.
So Rey Mysterio.
Ah,
was the
okay.
By 30 seconds.
Chris.
Yeah,
who-
Mysterio threw him Triple H in his puke, yeah.
Okay, so the legitimately best part of that Royal Rumble was this.
Oh, you got
Titus!
full screen.
Titus World Slide!
You might want to take that off full screen, though, so we don't get a claim.
And we'll just.
Ugh.
You can put it down in the corner for enjoy.
Hang on.
I don't want WWE flagging us.
No, I know.
for full screen
I'll put it back up, but it had to go full screen for a second. Where'd it go? Oh, because I have it on mode. Haha!
Did you slip?
I slipped up. My bad. Okay. Let me. So yeah, that was a wonderful, wonderful moment.
God. Another
And
one I could watch forever.
I think my favorite part of that moment is the fact that he is just owning it.
He's embracing it. They got T-shirts and everything now for it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then he
honestly,
used it the next night, or not the next night, but
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, my favorite part of this was from a different angle. The ref behind him, like as soon as he falls, the ref goes, "Oh God!"
He's like, "Oh no, where'd he go?" Yeah, that could have ended so bad if he went headfirst in the hard part of the ring.
Oh yeah,
That could
no,
have been
you can
very
if you
bad.
look real close at that GIF, you can see he was like inches away from clipping that ring post.
Yeah,
underneath.
that would have hurt like hell.
Yeah, but in comparison to the earlier botch with Hardy, where the commentators were like, I think he hit him. This one, Michael Cole and Corey Graves could absolutely not.
Yeah, Raven says the announcers
handle
lost
it.
their shit.
Yeah,
especially
just-
Graves.
Did that really just happen? And then nothing but laughter from Graves for like a solid 30 to 45 seconds. He just could not contain himself.
Yeah, no, that was the best part of the night, I think, in my opinion.
So-
my parting thing.
We have
Is it-
one thing left here for you. Yes, this right here.
Speaking
That-
of Daniel Bryan a minute
The
ago,
abuse that he took.
Yeah, that is
Jesus.
crazy.
and that is the
I will
storyline
say-
reason why he
Chops.
wasn't on.
I will say though, for being gone for as long as he has been, he still fucking got it.
Oh yeah.
That match shows it alone.
Mhm.
Yeah. The dude is a natural in the ring. He deserves.
Yeah.
Oh God, here I go. You deserve it.
Yeah.
See what you've done to me.
I said
Chance.
nothing.
No, watching that match, I caught him in the middle of the match, and I was like, "Oh my God, look at his chest!" And then, of course, seeing these pictures afterwards,
guys,
I was blown
wrestling's
away.
It's real to me, damn it.
So we're gonna give in a quick shot here. We're gonna run through our thoughts real quick and predictions. Here are some of the all the matches of Backlash this Sunday. Not in any specific order for us, but not for the card itself. AJ Styles, the champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. No disqualification match. So Nakamura can hit dicks all day.
He can
go dick crazy.
he can beat his dick off with both hands. What's up?
Just, woo!
I'm gonna go AJ Styles in this,
I agree. Styles retains.
simply because he's gonna try. Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna try all the dirty stuff in the book. It's gonna backfire because, all the dick shots he's been taking.
What you should do is just wear.
He's just immune to it
He
now.
should wear
Yeah.
a steel cup and
cup.
break his arm.
There you go.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
He'll
You
wear
agree?
some tearaway pants.
Yeah.
Rob, what do you think? You want
Styles-
to in this?
Styles retain.
I think so too. Yeah.
Toss up your candy.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna get in on this one.
You can.
I think so. I think Styles retains. Make me a little teenier.
There you go.
There you go. Cool.
Hey guys.
All right.
What's up, guys?
Raven says Low Blow City. Styles win, has a cup on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See. I mean, why wouldn't you at this
Yeah,
point?
knife edge chops do hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next match, let's see what we got. We got Seth Rollins versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Personally, I'm going with Seth Rollins simply because Miz and the baby wants to lay low a little.
I think Rollins will carry this a little bit longer.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
All three agree?
Yep.
Cool.
we have Jeff Hardy, the champion of the United States, against Randy Orton.
The not champion of the United States.
Right. I think Hardy will carry on with this a little bit longer.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I feel like they have bigger stuff for Randy, other than the U.S. Championship.
Put him in the main
Or he
line
just
again, you
floats.
think?
He's fine with floating.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be all that worried about
He
it.
doesn't need a belt.
Yeah.
Oh, we might want
So
to slow down a teensy, but the chat is just now chiming in on Rollins.
That's fine. We'll recap.
no,
the thoughts
Rob
as
just
it
said
comes.
Hardy.
Well, I know, but it just
Rollins
went away.
wins. They won't have both mid card titles on SmackDown. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sound logic.
Hardy
Yep.
too soon to take it out. Yep.
Yep.
So next match.
Next up, we got Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm gonna say Nia Jax retains because it's not a high enough caliber pay-per-view. I don't think to take the belt off of her yet. I feel like if they're going to take it off of her, it would be something like Money in the Bank, or at least drop it on. If they were going to drop it on a pay-per-view.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think Nia Jax will retain, but I think we got to have some sort of title change hands here. And I think if you're gonna have one change, you're gonna have the heel tactics and something up her sleeve where Alexa Bliss sneaks in and steals it.
Yeah.
Mickey
Yeah.
James.
Something.
Yeah.
I'm hard pressed to say that we're not going to see that title change hands just because somebody's got to.
I agree with Rob. Jax, but Alexa's still gorgeous.
So we have my favorite.
Charlotte.
You gonna put it on there? Yeah. Eric's so annoyed. God. So we got Carmella,
She's so short.
the champ, against Charlotte Flair. Unfortunately, Carmella, go over here. You're gonna lose that belt to Charlotte.
Yeah.
You think both of them are going to change hands? That's your vote?
I don't know.
No,
I
I
think
think
this one for sure.
Nia Jax isn't gonna change hands.
Well, did you not just say you thought Alexa Bliss was going to sneak it in?
No, he said.
I said
if-
Nia Jax, but if anything was gonna happen as far as a change, it would be
Oh,
that
right
belt.
on. Okay.
Yeah.
But I truly think Charlotte's gonna win back this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm with Raven here. I think Carmella's going to win because the Iconics are going to get involved.
I was also
I think
that's
Carmella's gonna
kind of
retain.
exactly what I was going to say in correlation or conjunction with what you said about Nia and Alexa. I think it's going to stay in Carmella's hands because of shady tactics.
Okay.
What?
Uh,
This?
Charlotte,
I agree with
fabulous.
I agree with my wife.
Kind of want someone to make Carmella not make any ear noise at all ever.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
She just screeches. It's not even screaming, it's screeching.
Do you not remember Melina?
Unfortunately, I do, and then the Undertaker made her cry. And now they're not allowed to have wrestlers court anymore. That's the thing I learned recently.
And then the next up match here, we got Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe in a singles match.
A match I could not care less about. I don't give a shit about Samoa Joe,
I don't either.
and I'm over Roman Reigns.
I'm gonna
I
go
don't
with
hate the
Samoa.
guy.
I'm gonna go with Samoa Joe just because Roman Reigns needs to just get knocked around.
Roman needs a win here.
He does need a win.
I don't
and
give a
think
shit if he
they're gonna
needs
give it to him.
$1 million.
If he's going to continue to get the push, which I think we all know he's going to, they're going to give him the win.
Oh,
I
Roman
don't
wins.
like it.
Roman wins over Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I hate to agree with you on that one.
We have another match that
Nobody said he was bad. I just said I didn't care about Joe.
I don't really
Both
care
lose?
for.
Yes, both
lose.
Nobody wins in that match.
I mean, that could be a
The
booking
viewers
choice
certainly
too,
don't.
where they both lose. They just they knock each other out, or they just brawl
count
out
out
somewhere.
like
Double
Styles
count.
Nakamura.
I could see
Yeah.
that happening.
Or Brock Lesnar shows up.
He's not gonna show up.
I mean, you never know.
Why would he show up? He has the belt.
Why not?
He has nothing to prove.
Also, he's not yeah, whatever.
He has nothing to
You'd be
prove.
going into a deep hole on that one.
Got nothing to prove. A match that I couldn't care. Daniel Bryan, Big Cass. Yeah.
I love Daniel Bryan, but I just don't
is
care
a
about this
return
match.
rivalry.
Do not give a shit about Big Cass.
He's
I barely
Can
like
Cass
him
go
when
away again? Says Robert.
the
Yes.
only
Yeah,
time I
seriously.
cared about Big Cass was when he was with Enzo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was the only time.
because Enzo was a better mouthpiece.
Yep.
he
He's
was
just a
the
dick.
mouthpiece.
Cass is just a dick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next up, we got
I
Braun
could see that,
Strowman.
Raven.
Braun Strowman
Yeah,
and
Cass
Bobby
wins.
Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Personally, I kind of want Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to win because I do not like the tag team of Braun Strowman and
That's
Bobby
a
Lashley.
weird tag team.
Yeah.
I feel like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have to win this one. This
In
is
the
a
same
must
fashion,
win.
in the same fashion as Roman Reigns, need a win.
And
No,
I don't like.
because it's the only thing that's going to make any sense for their progression on Raw. They have to pull out an upset victory over the two big guys.
Yeah. If you're in there and you're about to go the whole way, you got to pull out.
Well then, I think Owens and Zayn win. And it's. I think Bobby Lashley is a risky talent to have. He's had so many botches since his return. Who was it that he dropped on their head? Was it Elias
Ooh,
Oh yeah. Yep.
in the Rumble?
yeah.
I didn't see that. Don't want to see it.
It's.
It was rough. And then, again, the announce team tried to talk it off. They were like, he turned that into a brainbuster.
I heard that because I was actually actively doing stuff and it was on.
Yeah.
So Lashley, the thing about him is he's relevant to a lot of people because he was an MMA fighter, not on a big level like Brock. He was in a minor MMA organization.
He fought Rousey, right? Like he was that low, right? He was so low. He was in the women's division.
Wow.
you
I was
just
waiting for
really
you to-
degraded women.
I was waiting for Andrea to say something, but she just looked at me with those.
So he ran in.
Like if you had glasses,
he
if you had glasses on, they'd be like.
So in TNA, he did some things. He did the part-time MMA thing, part-time TNA, much like Brock Lesnar, what he did with UFC for a moment.
Total nonstop assholes.
But the last time that Lashley was relevant in the WWE was over a decade ago, and his last storyline featured Donald Trump in his corner.
Can we get that again?
So on that note, that concludes the Backlash event this Sunday.
Lashley has to
And our
take the
predictions.
pin because Strowman is money and needs to move on to the title. I agree.
Strowman win or lose is still money.
That's also true.
So, but that is all the news and information we have for you at this time. Our next one will be leading up to the next pay-per-view in a few weeks.
All right.
We'll do obviously promotion for that, letting you guys know when our next show will be. It'll be a Thursday night, much like this, right before the next pay-per-view. This seems to be the schedule we're going to work with for now, leading up to pay-per-views, giving you guys results of the prior, and then predictions leading up.
Sounds good.
So, if you guys enjoy this stuff, share it with your friends. Let us know what you think.
And I'm a little. I haven't told you guys this because I just decided it today.
You quit the band. Everyone's quitting.
I quit
Rob
the
quit the band.
No, I'm looking into a way to extract the audio from these fairly easily, and turn them into an audio podcast. Maybe we can throw them up on our YouTube channel. Maybe put like a download link from Drive or something.
We do SoundCloud.
Yeah, we could do SoundCloud. Oh, thanks.
Thanks,
Dave.
We're just sexy boys, but we're not your boy toys.
I was gonna say that line.
Don't worry.
But that'll be it for us, guys. On for the 3-second tan. Oh, P.S. When you originally posed the name 3-second tan to me, you're like, oh, it's a line from the John Cena theme song. I was like, oh, cool. I never actually listened to his song all the way through to listen to it again.
Did you hear it every time now?
I hear it every time, but now I actively love John Cena's theme song.
Lay your ass down for that 3-second tan.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is you guys told me that's where it was from, and I'd never heard it until recently at Greatest Royal Rumble when he was when they were letting his music play after he won, and then I heard it because the crowd like died down at the perfect moment. I was like, oh, right on.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
So yeah, it's a John Cena lyric.
Yeah, I like it.
Worse
Whatever.
places.
It works.
It's good. I dig it.
So yeah, do us a solid above Eric's head over that way. There's a URL goal. We're still doing that. We still appreciate your help.
We're
Only
so
a few
close.
more. We're so close. Do
We're
us a
actually at
solid.
93 up here.
We're 93, so
Oh, did
help
it
us
not
out.
update again?
Nope.
No, that's okay.
Got 7 more.
And then as always, you can find us on the YouTubes, the Twitches, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Twitters, and I think that's it.
Yeah. Search Dose of Nerd Acumen everywhere, and we'll see you guys next week for another episode of the Weekly Dosage. Next week, watch our streams.
1, 2.
The dead, gravity well, lock
Ding,
steady.
ding, ding.
Bye, guys.